Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mirna Mendez and I do some book content here on YouTube. And I wanted to repeat a video idea I did a couple of months ago where I swapped my screen time with reading time. Lately, I've been more addicted to my phone than ever and I'm really concerned about it. So I decided that I wanted to make myself swap my screen time with reading time. That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna start today, Tuesday. So we're gonna go from Tuesday until Saturday and we're gonna make it work. Some days I have work, so maybe we can swap them and end up doing more days. I don't know, we'll work it out later. But for today, we have 6 hours and 7 minutes to read. We're using last week's stats, and last week I came from my trip and I was such in a slump of life after that post-trip depression, and I was all the time on my phone. So we're gonna read a lot in this video. We're probably gonna get through a lot of books in this video because I'm swapping a lot of time for reading. 6 hours and 7 minutes is not the worst time yet. Not even that I'm not interested in the books, because I am in love with the books I've been reading lately. I finished Saving Six. I love that book. I am reading right now Redeeming Six and I'm loving that book. But I'm so addicted to my phone that I read one page, and even though I'm interested in the other page, I take out my phone to see the time and end up in Instagram or TikTok and the scrolling begins. So we are making this. So we are going to make this. I'm going to record this to hold myself accountable and motivate myself. I can't wait to see how many books we get to read during this video. The first one, I already told you, is gonna be Redeeming Six by Chloe Walsh. This is the book we're gonna read. It's the fourth book in the Boys of Tommen series. This is the second book in Joey and Aoife's books. The first one of their series. I've given every single book a 5-star read from this series. This is my all-time favorite series. But Joey and Aoife's first book, which was the third book in the series, was an infinity star rating for me and my new favorite book. I don't know if any other book is gonna live to that book. So we're gonna read this. It's definitely gonna take me more than one day because I cannot finish this in 6 hours. So yeah, I'm really excited to keep reading. I'm not gonna spoil anything in this video, but yeah, you should definitely get to this series, guys. This is the best series ever. This is it's one of those series where you get so attached to the characters that they don't even feel like they're fictional. You're like rooting for them so hard and loving them so much that you're like, I don't know how to put it into words how much I love this series. But yeah, the first 2 books in the series follow Johnny and Shannon. Shannon is Joey's little sister, so we're gonna follow in these 2 other books Joey and Aoife, which is his love interest. They met in school in first year. It's based on Ireland, so I don't know how school works there, but they met in first year, which I'm guessing it's like 10 years. In what grade you're in? 13 years. I don't know. But around that age, and we get how they built their friendship and all until sixth year, and how they became lovers and all. But what I love about this series is that it's not only a romance book, it's so much deeper and has so much heartbreaking topics, so check trigger warnings. But yeah, you should definitely check this series out. It's so good. Seeing Joey's POV, knowing what happens in Binding and Keep in their team, but seeing Joey's POV, it's so heartbreaking and you fall in love with this character so much more. I feel like you can't talk shit about Joey because that man deserves the world. He is such a strong character, and Aoife too. She has such an amazing heart and she's so strong too, and how she loves Joey. It's just beautiful, and how Joey battles everything in his life and how he handles things and how he deals with things breaks my heart. But yeah, enough about that. I'm gonna put the timer on and we're gonna read for 6 hours this beautiful brick of a book. 2 books, we don't get much of Aoife because it's centered in Shannon and Johnny, and she appears but we don't get to see her personality. And of course, in this book, we get to, and I was definitely not expecting her to be that way. She's so funny and she's so confident. I love her. Every time she opens her mouth, I know I'm gonna laugh or I'm gonna be in love with her because she's the best book girlfriend ever. She's so sweet and I love her. I think she wants to say, she's going to say it. Like, it doesn't matter. She's going to say it, and I love that about her. And Joey loves that about her too. Love it when they mention the characters from previous books. They're talking about Johnny Kavanaugh, which is the first main character in the first 2 books. And this is before those 2 books happened, and it's so cute. They don't even know them. Like, Joey does not know yet that Johnny is gonna end up with his sister. I love them so much. Seeing in this chapter that happened in Binding 13, the first time Johnny drove her to her house, and I'm seeing it, and blah, blah, blah. I'm so excited I can't even talk. And I'm now seeing it play through Joey's POV when Shannon calls him and all. I'm so excited. I miss them. So cute. I love this book so much. Favorite series, favorite universe. Like, I'm gonna keep reading. Fell asleep. No, because the book is not good. I just fell asleep. But I did pause the timer. I have 4 hours and 24 minutes left. And I'm on page 100. Sorry for the angle. 165. So I'm gonna keep reading. Hey besties, it's Wednesday. Yesterday I did finish my 6 hours and 7 minutes of reading, but the timer went on in such a tense and important moment that I had to keep reading. So what I did, you may consider it cheating, but I'm not counting it as cheating, is that I started today's timer yesterday at night and I read for a couple of minutes and then stopped it so we can continue it today. I think we have like 2 hours and 48 minutes left because today's time was not that high. It was like 3 hours and something. You've probably seen it in the last clip. But yeah, so far a lot of shit happened that I was not expecting it to, and I'm really sad for the main characters. They don't deserve that, but it's fiction. It's fiction. I'm thinking that it is fiction, is part of the plot. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that book. I am like 300 something pages in, so I'm not 50% yet, but so far I can tell this is going to be a 5-star rating too. I went out to pick my uniform because I work tomorrow, and when I get back I'm gonna continue reading and show you guys the time and our plans for today.
but I want to keep reading because the book is in a really intense situation. So I'm gonna put tomorrow's timer, which is 3 hours and 6 minutes. Yeah, 3 hours and 6 minutes. So I'm gonna put the timer. And we're gonna do the same thing that I did yesterday, where I started the next day's timer if I wanted to read more, and we'll continue until I get tired, and then tomorrow I'll update you guys on where I left. But something that happened in Keeping 13 or Binding 13, I don't remember, just happened here, but in Joey's POV, and it's much more intense than in Shannon's book. So I need to keep reading. So it's really heartbreaking though. Morning. It's actually like 2 o'clock. I woke up at like 12, but it's because yesterday I went to bed late because I started like today's, I told you guys last night, but I read for more time yesterday, and we have to read today. It was 3 hours and 12 minutes, but today we have left 1 hour and 25 minutes. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna keep reading Redeeming 6. I'm talking because my boyfriend is in a meeting, but I'm gonna continue reading. I have that much left. So good. Right now it's in a really intense part, and I need to keep reading this. I have work today. I have work from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. So we're gonna read for like an hour, and then I'm gonna get ready for work, and probably at night when I come back we can start tomorrow's time today, because tomorrow it's 9 hours of reading. So if I manage to finish before and want to keep reading, then we'll start tomorrow's time. Point is reading. If I read more, better. So yeah, I'm on page 478. We're gonna do that this week. Just got home from work and I'm so tired. I spent 4 hours in heels, and I hate heels. I'm gonna take a bath, get this makeup out of my face, and we're gonna read the last hour we have left from today's time, and I'll let you know if I'll start tomorrow's time, which is a long one. The fact that I did this video to not use my phone and reduce my screen time, and I've just spent the last 3 hours scrolling on TikTok. It's currently 12:52 and I have this much left of reading, and it says that if I start right now I'll be finishing at 5 a.m. I don't know. I'm gonna read as much as I can, but I'm not gonna pressure myself into finishing that because I have to work tomorrow, and I cannot force myself to be awake and read if I have work tomorrow. So I promise that I'm gonna start this now, read as much as I can, and when it gets sleepy I'll sleep, and we'll continue tomorrow, and the time I have left today we'll add it to tomorrow's time because I need to sleep. It's Friday. I have to read for 9 hours and 33 minutes.
say what happened because that's a spoiler for both Keeping and Redeeming 6. I have 7 hours and 27 minutes left from the time, and it is 11:33 p.m. I spent the entire day working. Well, not the entire day, the afternoon and night. I got out at like 8, and then I came here at my house, took a bath and everything, and started reading at like 10 something. I'm not gonna be able to finish this today because this finishes at 7 a.m. That's not happening, but I do want to finish the book tonight, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep this on. I'm gonna go to bed, to reading bed, and we're gonna keep reading until I finish the book. I just have this much left, the battery being the bookmark, this much left, and I'm probably not gonna be able to sleep until I finish it, so I'm gonna finish it. Hey besties. So today, last night, I did finish Redeeming 6, the 4th book and the last one out from the Boys of Tommen series. And of course, I rated it a 5 stars. This book was everything that I needed. I loved every second of it, even when I was crying or when I was frustrated or when I was mad or sad or any emotion that I felt. Every emotion that I felt, I was loving it. I love the characters even more. You get to see how vulnerable they were more in this one, especially Joey and also Aoife. I don't know how to review this book without spoiling anything, but the only thing I didn't, and I'm not gonna say I didn't love it because I did love it, was that the first part was kind of repetitive of Shannon's book, but with Joey's POV, and I loved it because I loved Shannon's book, so I didn't mind rereading stuff. In Joey's POV, I felt more heartbroken and I understood more his character. I really loved him even more than in Shannon's book. I don't know how to put it into words, but I felt that he deserves the world, and Aoife too. I loved how they loved each other and how she never gave up on him and how he was trying to get better, and even the times when he didn't want to get better, I was rooting for him and her too. I loved everything about this book. Just saying that, you need to start this series. And yesterday I was on Instagram and Chloe Walsh, the author, uploaded a reel where it said 7 days and she put hashtag Boys of Tommen. If she's gonna give me Gypsy and Claire's book, I'm going to die because I need Gypsy's book ASAP. I love his character so much. He's so funny. Even in this one, I loved him even more because he does some things in this one, and I didn't know it in Shannon's book, and I got it in this one, and I'm so in love with that man. I love him. And I also loved the brothers, Ollie, Tag, and Sean. I loved how they were with each other and how protective of Shannon they were and how they finally got their happy ending. I love them so much. I think about this book and I want to cry. But yeah, definitely a 5-star read. I think Saving 6 is going to be my favorite out of these two. But still, this series is amazing. I loved every second of it. I read this in like 4 or 3 days. But yeah, I wish I've read it sooner. But anyway, I read it and I loved it so much. So if you're getting any recommendation from any book I read in this video is that please start The Boys of Tom, and you're gonna love every single book, I swear. And I love that before these books I was not interested in any character-driven books, and now I do, and I love them so much. Can't wait to read the other books and see how these characters are doing in their books, because I loved seeing Shannon and Johnny in this one. I loved Lizzie. Lizzie appears in this one a bit different way, I could say, but I loved her even more. In the Shannon's books, I was like, I like her, but like I don't know. But in this one, she did something that I love her so much more now. And yeah, I can't wait to keep reading this series. This is the best series, my favorite characters. So yeah, please read it. So last night, you know that I had a lot of hours of reading, and I finished the book at like 3 a.m., 3 something a.m. and I still had remaining 3 hours and 44 minutes. I was not gonna sleep at 6 a.m. because I was not gonna be able to work and function today. What I am gonna do is that I'm gonna continue yesterday's time today, and when I finished yesterday's time, I'm gonna go and start today's time, which I believe is also 9 hours. 9 hours and 54 minutes. More than yesterday. Okay, we are going to just keep yesterday's time, and when I finish yesterday's time, we're gonna jump into today's time, and we're just gonna read. Let's not pressure ourselves. The thing is to have fun reading. So I'm gonna go to my room, check which book to pick. I have no idea what I want to read. I do know that I do not want to read a romance because it's not fair for that book, because I'm gonna be comparing every romance and every character to these two. And it's not fair for the other books because this book holds the throne. I brought 4 books. I got The Hawthorne Legacy. This is the second book in the Inheritance game series. I just read the first one a couple of months ago, and it left in a cliffhanger. And when I got the book, I didn't pick it up. I don't know why. So we have this one, which I really want to read. I recently brought The Naturals, the other series written by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So I'm really excited to continue this one. Also have The Maidens. I've had this on my TBR for a while now. This is a mystery. I have One of Us is Lying. I'm not crazy about reading this, but I think that I should read it soon. Oh, this is the one where it's kind of they're on detention and one of the kids end up dead, and they're like pinning it on the other kids that were on detention, trying to prove which one did it. And then I have Unravel Me, which I actually started it. I'm 98 pages in, but I DNF'd it because I was not in the mood for it. I do want to continue the series. I recently bought Ignite Me, which is the 3rd book and people's favorite. I can also pick this up. The book is about Edward Fosca, which Mariana has no doubt that he is a murderer, that he has killed at least 2 people, and she wants to prove it. Like she is certain that he's guilty of these murders. So I don't want to read that book, and I paused the timer. I only read the first chapter, and it's not that I'm not interested, but I'm not in the mood for that, and I'm actually in the mood to read something off my Kindle. So I have downloaded a couple of books. I have Divine Rivals, which is a fantasy. I have The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, which is a sad book. I think I've seen people cry over this book. So a sad book. I have Out on a Limb, which is an accidental pregnancy trope book, but a lot of people have been loving it. I have The Right Move by Liz Tomford, and I really want to read that, so that's a good contender. I have Daisy Hates. I have the audiobook to A Love Letter to Whiskey. I'm just mentioning the books that I'm interested in. I also have... I'm actually in a romance mood, so we can read a romance. But I'm gonna read The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I read Mile High a couple of months ago, and I was not crazy about it. I did enjoy it, but I felt like it was unnecessarily long, so I gave it a 3.5 stars. However, I've heard amazing things about Ryan Shea, which is her brother, which is this book, and that this is the basketball romance. I've never read a basketball romance. So I'm gonna start this one, I think. 417. That's good. We're gonna read this. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, I could be. This one is about her brother, but I think that in the first book, you know that she was a flight attendant. I think that her friend, which was also a flight attendant, I don't remember her name, Izzy? It was with an I. She needed a place to live, so she's gonna be staying with him.
So I finished yesterday's time. I'm 26% into the right move, and I'm gonna give you my first thoughts. So far, I'm enjoying it a lot. I get it, girls. I get it. Ranche is a top tier book boyfriend. I love him. He says the perfect things at the exact perfect time. He's so thoughtful and he's like perfect. I love how he is treating her and how he like, I just love him. He's like such a gentleman and like he's so thoughtful. He pays attention to the small details. He cares. And I'm only 26%. They just started fake dating because it is a fake dating romance. I had no idea, but they are fake dating because she gets cheated on in a relationship that she was on for like 6 years, and he is like this basketball superstar, but he's like really closed off and really a loner, and he just like trains and plays and like he doesn't socialize. He's like not very outgoing, and like he just became captain of the team, and the GM, like the manager from the team, I don't know, doesn't think that he's going to be a good leader because he doesn't have relationships, he doesn't have friendships, like he's like just a perfect player but not like a perfect leader. I don't know if that making sense, but he decides right on the spot that Indy is gonna be his girlfriend, his fake girlfriend, to prove to his GM that he can be a leader, that he can make relationships, that he can be outgoing and all that. And she wants just to prove to her friends that she moved on, basically, because she has a wedding, a friend of hers wedding, and her ex is going with a +1, so she also wants to go with a +1, which is gonna be Ryan at some point. So that's why they're fake dating. So far, I love her personality. She's a romance reader, so you know, she's like, this happens in my books and I need this, and this is what book boyfriends do, and I love that. There was a quote that I laughed out loud when I read it. He said, like, he had bookshelves, right? And the bookshelves were self-help books, obviously, and I can't find it. I forgot how to look it. But he had bookshelves and she has books, obviously, romance books. And he organized them by the author's last name. And one day he comes back from practice or a game and she arranged the bookshelves. And he was like, what the fuck? Why my bookshelves are now like a rainbow, like color coded? And he's like, what doesn't make like, I need to find it. It was so funny. Give me a second. Okay, I found it. He said, what god-awful reason should Investing 101 be sandwiched between two books with shirtless men on the covers because they're all orange? I laughed so hard. And I also love that Indy, she's 5'9", so tall queens. Finally, I've never read a book where the FMC is tall, and I'm tall, so I love the representation. So yeah, so far I love her and I love him, and I'm gonna put today's timer, which is 9 hours and 54 minutes, and it is 11:05. So yeah, probably we're gonna keep reading tomorrow, but I want to keep reading today, so I'm just gonna put the timer and we'll continue reading until I fall asleep, and then we'll continue tomorrow. We're not gonna fail this challenge, we're just gonna cheat. So timer, 26%, so let's keep reading. just finished The Right Move. I am going to review it tomorrow. I'm gonna sit with my thoughts and gather everything I want to say, but it was a 5 stars. You saw it. It was a 5 stars. A new top tier favorite book boyfriend. I am obsessed with Ryan Shea and I loved Indy so much. That's what I'm gonna say for today. I only have left from the challenge 29 minutes and 19 seconds, which I obviously am not gonna finish a book on that time, so I'm gonna go to my room, turn off the lights, and read on my Kindle. I'm gonna start a random book. Obviously, I'm not gonna finish it in this video, so you can follow me on my Bookstagram to see my final thoughts on that one, or when I post a wrap up. I'll talk to you tomorrow and let you guys know all of my thoughts from The Right Move and which book I pick. I just have 24 minutes left. I was not feeling anything. I started a couple of books or tried to read a couple of books and I was not in the mood for any of them. So my boyfriend told me just sleep and choose a book tomorrow. It's not like I'm gonna finish a book in 29 minutes. So I did that and I decided to pick up a lighter read, like something that I'm probably gonna finish in a day or two and be relaxed about it. So I picked up right now One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. I've seen this book a lot, but back in the 2022, I don't know. I saw recently Sarah Caroli read it in one of her blogs, so I decided to pick it up and just gonna read it to see what my thoughts are. So I'm gonna put the timer and read as much as I can from this one and then give you my final thoughts on the books we got to read in the vlog. Okay, so far I'm on page 8 and I think that there's gonna be a couple of POVs, not just one. So yeah, 5 kids end up in detention and one of them ends up dead and he runs like a gossip app. The others that were in detention with them are suspects of killing him because the guy who died was going to post something about one of them. I think that's the plot. So yeah, I keep reading. 17 minutes to go. Finished. Okay, I finally finished. He's swapping my screen time with reading time challenge, and yeah, and guys, I added all of the hours per day and it was 32 hours and 52 minutes. I spent that amount of time using my phone the previous week. That's more than a day. I'm not even gonna think too much into it, but thanks to that, I read for 32 hours and 52 minutes this week, so that's a win. I definitely loved doing this because thanks to that I actually got to read a lot. I also added the amount of pages that I read, and this book says that it has 746 pages, but in Goodreads, since this is a really small font, in Goodreads it says that this book is 1,066 pages. So I added this with the book I read here and the couple of pages I read from this one, and we read 1,053. Let me check. Yes, 1,053 pages, so that's really good. I'm gonna talk a bit about the books we read. We started off reading Redeeming Six. This was actually a 5-star read. I loved this book and this series with my whole heart. In this book, we continue in where we left off in Saving Six. I'm not gonna talk much into it, but because I don't want to spoil it, but you have to read this series. This series follows, and the first 2 books follows Johnny and Shannon, and these 2 books follows Aoife and Joey. Joey is Shannon's older brother, and we get to see a really heartbreaking story. It's not only a romance, it goes much deeper. It has topics like addiction, abuse, and I honestly
could not recommend this series enough. I really loved it. You have to read it. I was not expecting it to be this heartbreaking. Shannon's books are really heartbreaking, but when you read Joey's books and see what he actually goes through and how he deals with everything and how life is so unfair to him, and see everything that he went through, you feel so much love for his character and protective for him. I loved Aoife. She's one of my favorite female characters. She's so strong. She has an amazing heart. She has a heart of gold, and I really loved this. I loved their love. I loved how she never gave up on him. I loved how he never gave up on his family, I love them, period. I just love them. I don't know how to review this book. Just know that this is a 6-star series for me. You have to read it. And enough about that. Let's talk about another 5-star read that I read in this one. We also read The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This is the second book. I don't know the name of the series, but the first one is Mile High. The second is The Right Move. The first one is a hockey romance. The second one is a basketball romance. I've never read a basketball romance before. I love that sport with all my heart, so I need more recs with basketball romances. But I rated the first one in 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it as much as I love The Right Move. The Right Move was a 5-star read for me, and Ryan Shea, that man is the blueprint. That man is top tier. That man is perfection. I don't think any man can compare to him. I need more book boyfriends with Ryan Shea vibes, so if you have any, drop them in the comments. I need more Ryan Sheas in my life. This book has a lot of cute tropes, a lot of tropes I like. It has brother's best friend. It has best friend's brother. It has the roommate trope. It has the fake dating trope and the he doesn't date trope. He's not grumpy, but he's like a loner. She's a social butterfly, and the reason why they start fake dating is because he just became the captain of the team, of this basketball team. He's an NBA player, and like the general manager of the team doesn't feel like he is like a good leader. He's a good player but not a good leader. He doesn't have friendships. He doesn't have like relationships. He's always alone, and he's always like in his own. And they start fake dating because he thinks that that's gonna help his general manager think that he is ready to step on this role. And she just got out of a 6-year relationship because her ex cheated on her, and she's going to a wedding, and the ex is gonna bring a +1, and she's like, I'm also gonna bring a +1. So that's the reason why they're fake dating. But it's I just think about all the things he did to her. I love him. Like, he's so thoughtful. He's such a gentleman. He's so good. He's perfect. I don't want to say the things that he did because I want you to read it and feel the giddiness, the emotion, and just I love him so much. Basically, that's a bit about what it is, but you have to read it. It's such a good book. I can't wait for her next book. It's gonna be a baseball romance. I've never read a baseball romance before. I'm really excited. I loved this book so much. 5 stars, so I'm really happy that we got 2 5 stars from this vlog video thing. And I also started one of his slime, but I'm only 22 pages in. This is a YA mystery. I'll update you guys on my bookstagram, but yeah, I'm gonna read this because I feel this is gonna be a really fast-paced, easy, quick read, which is what I'm in the mood for. These were the books we read. I loved every second of each book. I recommend you guys any of them, actually any of them. They're so good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm so sorry, but I kind of cheated on this one. We read from Tuesday to Saturday, but I actually ended up on Sunday. But that's not the point. The point is that we got to read, we got to review some books, we got to find 2 5-star reads, and that's it. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.